Ringside Collectibles and Wrestling Figs. We're back here at Toy Fair 2020, and I'm with Brandi Rhodes, Chief Brand Operator. Is Chief Brand Operator or Chief Brand Officer?
Officer. You made it sound way fancier. Okay. I like operator. You can say that. That's okay.
Okay. Chief Brand Operator or Chief Brand Officer, whichever you prefer.
Or Chief Brandi Officer, whatever. You know, we can just make this more and more complicated by the day. Actually, at the end, I want you to think of a third. But let's go ahead with just the regular interview.
Okay. Yeah. Chief Brandi Officer, I think we'll use for now. That would be perfect. Of AEW, All Elite Wrestling. We're here for the launch of the action figure line. How do you feel about it so far? We saw you get emotional over your figure in the previous video.
I like to say that I'm not an emotional person, but lately I've been cracking up on television regularly. So I guess I am an emotional person. But seeing the figure and seeing its likeness and just how much time and detail went into every piece of it to make it look just like me it's just magnificent. I've always kind of felt like in my early parts of the business that I was an afterthought, and this is being a part of All Elite Wrestling and seeing this figure has shown me that I'm no longer an afterthought, which is really cool on many levels, and maybe something I should not be talking about in an interview and maybe talking to my therapist about instead.
That's all right. Lie down. Tell me all your problems. We've got it right here. Perfect. Excellent. Magic, thank you very much.
Oh, man.
Magic, the designer, of course.
Magic.
So we have the figure itself. This is the one you saw in that clip, correct?
Yes, and I can't wait for people to get a really up close and personal look at this. Her skin tone's the same as mine. It's all right. Everything about it is absolutely right. The only thing that I would say any argument about is the fact that she got a little bit more junk in the trunk than I think I currently do, and I'm not mad at it at all. If anything, this is going to make me work harder to make sure that we look the same in that department.
It's perfect to see those kinds of accuracies, even the ones that maybe we're not quite happy about yet, but we're getting there, right? So, yeah. Aside from that, we got the packaging here. Obviously, it's in style with the rest of the All Elite Wrestling packaging. This is what it's going to look like when it's in full package and on the shelf at the store.
I absolutely can't wait to see it. I can't wait to be. I'm going to be that person that absolutely goes to Walmart and picks up one and puts it, in front of the person and wears my hair the exact same way and then just goes and waits for her to not recognize me, because that's what will happen. I'll be very disappointed.
I bet they will. It's kind of impossible. That's the point. It's such a spot-on likeness. They would have to know. They'd be lost if they didn't realize it was you. So.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get that right person at Walmart. But no, it's gonna. I'm really excited. I think everybody, fans, not just my figure, all of the figures, the likeness is so strong, and that you can actually put the hammer in my hand. You can put it in Cody's hand, and there's a lot that you can do. I'm really wanting to do a shooting star press in the ring, because I can do a shooting star press. I just don't. But we can do it with a figure. We're going to do a shooting star press soon in the ring.
That would be amazing. Yeah. So taking it back to your in-ring career, obviously you've had some great efforts in AEW so far. You've been able to also work with Cody in front of the camera and behind it. How has that been for you? Husband and wife, obviously, it's got to be a big deal to be able to spend that much time together and work together. How are you feeling about that?
That's the great part, is being able to spend time together all the time. We are literally together pretty much 24/7. I think the first break that we're going to have from each other is my best friend just had a baby, so congratulations, Heather. But I'm going to go see the baby, and we're going to be apart for one day. Other than that, we're together every single day. We're working. We're always talking about All Elite Wrestling. Now that I've crossed back over from the dark side to the light, we're back together with in-ring work, and that's already interesting because Arn Anderson is in the mix, and so there's a lot of fun to come with All Elite Wrestling and me and what on earth is going on. So
Excellent. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. And so one of the things you've spoken about in the past with AEW is diversity and making sure you have a strong depth and roster of talent. Can you speak a little bit more directly about that now, how strongly you feel about that?
Yeah, it really is more of making sure nobody's overlooked. more than wanting to check some sort of boxes or whatnot. Just people who maybe have not gotten their chance to get a look before. We want to make sure that they're getting their look, and we do have really fantastic people on our roster. I'm very, very proud of the current women's champion. I was very proud of the first women's champion. We've got a lot of just different people that you don't see every single day, or you don't, I guess, assume would be what we would call faces of the company. But here they are, and they're doing fantastic jobs, and we're just going to continue in that forward motion.
Excellent. Sounds great. Going back to wrestling figures real quick, thinking about other attires you've worn in your career, other attires you'll wear in AEW, any others you'd like to see immortalized here?
You know what I really would like to see more than anything with me? I would really like to see Pharaoh. Really like to see Pharaoh.
You just stole my next question.
Oh, I used to be a reporter, right? I'm really good at this stuff. Oh, no, but yeah, no, I'd love to see Pharaoh. Maybe there's a Pharaoh 2-pack somewhere out there with, me and him, or probably more appropriately for the TV audience, Cody and him. But, he is my best buddy, not his. That is the truth. And I'm sure he would hate that I said that. But if it came between saving me or Cody, Pharaoh's going to save me because he knows I'm going to feed him. He's unreliable. They have fun together. They do their little Hollywood stuff, but Mom feeds me. And Mom makes sure I have a new bed and good dog sitters. So I think he knows who the boss is.
So you heard it here first. When the Pharaoh figure gets made, make sure you move it away from the Cody figure and put it next to the Brandi figure.
Or at least make it so that my figure can hug Pharaoh.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Even better.
Yeah.
Brandi, this has been great. Thanks so much for talking to us about this. Thanks for having us for the launch of the All Elite Wrestling figure line. And we'll see you next time.
One more thing, though.
Sure.
Remember, we talked about all the different names that there were for Brandi. So we had a Chief Brandi Officer, Chief Brand Officer. You have me as a Chief Brand Operator. What is one more? We got to have one more. Chief.
We got to throw boss in there somehow. Like you're the real boss here, right?
Chief Boss Officer. I'll take that.
Chief Boss Officer.
All
right.
Yeah.
Chief Boss Officer Brandi Rhodes here at Toy Fair 2020 with All Elite Wrestling. Thanks, Brandi.
Thank you, guys.